So there we have it, QPR's 2024-25 season has finally come to an end, with Saturday's 1-0 lunchtime victory away at Sunderland, while mathematically redundant for both sides, very much needed and appreciated after a rollercoaster of a week for Rangers. QPR were, of course, without manager Martí Cifuentes having placed him on gardening leave last Tuesday, coaches Kevin, Betsy and Xavi instead taking caretaker charge of the R's to surprise success at the Stadium of Light. If you're new to the channel, I'm Connor aka Hoopsa. I make QPR match previews, reactions, interviews and features, and for one last time this season I'm going to be talking through the last QPR performance and discussing what the future holds. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, follow or leave a rating if you like what you see or hear, and let's get into it. No closer to a resolution over the future of Martí Cifuentes, QPR turned to first team coaches Betsy and for the final match of the season, for which they opted for 3 changes. In a direct mirror of the final game of the previous season away at Coventry, Joe Walsh came in between the sticks for his first and only league start of the season in place of Paul Nardi, who travelled with the team but wasn't included in the playing squad. The second change was Elias Chair for Kenneth Powell, with Jack Colback tucking in at left back out of possession for the absent and imminently out of contract Dutchman. The third and final tweak was Mickey Frey for Ryan Colley up top, the latter having started for the development squad on Wednesday night in the excellent 2-0 semi-final victory over Burnley under-21s that sent our young R's through to this season's Premier League Cup final against Brentford. Plenty of other development squad stars joined him on the bench at the Stadium of Light too, with Harry Murphy and Escadina in the senior squad for the first time, alongside teammates Emerson Sutton, Daniel Benny, Kieran Morgan and Nathan Shepherd. It would, of course, take Rangers just 5 minutes and their first attack of this game to take the lead, with Harrison Ashby deployed again as a right winger to far greater success, setting up Nicholas Madsen. The move started in midfield with Jonathan Varane doing exactly what he needs to do to progress himself to the next level, carrying the ball calmly forwards through the centre and playing it onwards to Karamoko Dembele. Dembele then shuffled the ball out wide to Ashby, who drove into space down the right and cut a low ball back to an unmarked Nicholas Madsen arriving in the box, who took a touch before calmly driving the ball home at the near post for Rangers' quickest start to a match since Blackburn at home on the 4th of February. That was Madsen's 4th goal involvement in 6 appearances since returning to the starting lineup at Oxford away, and this was one of his strongest displays to date, which gives real optimism about his future for Rangers after a difficult start to life at the R's. Sunderland, playing a full strength side in preparation for their long since confirmed playoffs after 4 straight defeats, were quick to push for an equaliser, but Rangers, playing a back 3 in possession and back 4 out, were organised and resolute to disrupt the home side's attacks. When the Black Cats did manage to find space for a shot at goal, like Eliza Hayden's snapshot from Liam Morrison's failed clearance in the 8th minute and Luke O'Nine's right-footed effort from range in the 13th, Walsh responded sharply to maintain the lead. Varane, a real monster in the midfield on this occasion, completed the most dribbles of any player on the pitch and provided QPR's only other real effort of the first half in the 19th minute with a hell of a run into the opposition box, but he dragged his shot wide to miss out on his first championship goal. After an utterly grim season of non-contact injuries, we of course couldn't get by without just one more for good measure. Ryan Colley replacing Elias Chair at half-time after QPR's number 10 rolled his ankle at the end of the first half for what I believe to be his 4th injury of the season. If there's anyone who needs a rest and a proper pre-season, it's Illy. Sunderland had a strong chance to level right at the start of the half. Enzo Lefay's brilliantly whipped cross met by Patrick Roberts, but he headed wide from a tight angle. Madsen could have then added an assist to his goal on 57 minutes when he sailed an inch-perfect free kick onto the head of Jimmy Dunn in the centre of the box, but he uncharacteristically failed to hit the target with his diving header. It would then be a solely defensive showing from the R's from this point onwards, with Ronnie Edwards, way too good for this level, producing a fantastic block to deny Joe Bellingham just 2 minutes later. Morgan Fox would be our next change on 62 minutes for an injured Colback, and Lucas Anderson would follow 11 minutes later in place of Dembele, who also came off with a knock. Sunderland kept asking questions, but Rangers always had a reply, the most impressive being Joe Walsh's diving save of substitute Dan Ballard's header just outside the 6-yard box on 86 minutes, which ensured QPR's 3rd successive away win. Now, some people were quick to note that this was a dead rubber for both sides, which it was, but after the week that Rangers fans had, it was so important to end a challenging campaign with a result and a performance like that, if only for our sanity as fans. This QPR team were completely and utterly thrashed 7 days prior, and with Cifuentes no longer in the picture and nothing to play for, it wouldn't have been surprising to see another bloodbath unfold. Thankfully, these players took pride pride in their football, just like I'd wanted from them last weekend. They played with confidence and they repaid the incredible support of the 981 travelling fans. The club might be in yet another mess off the pitch. We may not know the future of the likes of Jimmy Dunn. We probably won't see Edwards in a Rangers shirt again. But in Varane, who I must remind you is only 22 years old, dominating against a full-strength playoff side. In Maddison showing yet more signs that he's finally adapting to the Championship. In Walsh being one of not just 2 but 3 excellent goalkeepers on our books. And in some genuinely exciting development squad options on the bench for the first time in years, there were at the very least some small, tiny glimmers of hope on that pitch. Where we go from here, I have no idea, but I am fascinated to find out. Right, so that's it from me for the 24-25 season, but don't worry, if you enjoy your regular Hoops of Fix, I will, after a short break, be continuing to post regular QPR content throughout the summer, starting with my annual squad review, so keep your eyes and ears peeled for that soon. Before I sign off, I just wanted to say a massive thank you to each and every one of you that regularly watch, listen, share, comment, come up and say hello at matches, and generally support what I do. It doesn't go unnoticed, and I'm truly grateful for you helping me to grow what I do on this channel. Enjoy your summer, Ars fans, and I will see you again soon. Cheers.